Welcome to Racket Fanatic Podcast, Tales of a Tennis Legend. Every week I'll be telling a story about the best tennis players to have ever played the game. In this series we're talking about Andre Agassi, and this is episode 6, the feud with Boris Becker. So I'm going to take this back to 1995 when the feud started with Becker. So this all started at Wimbledon. Agassi played Becker in the semi-finals. He'd beaten him 8 times previously, even though Boris Becker is an amazing champion. Agassi would consistently beat him, so there's probably a little bit of animosity there. But in this particular match, it was a little bit different. Andre goes ahead with a set and a 4-1 lead, but Becker ends up coming back and winning the match. Why this is a little bit odd is because Agassi's previous coach, Bollettieri, was in Becker's corner. Bollettieri publicly announced that he's splitting with Agassi and he's now coaching other players, and he didn't actually inform or have a discussion or chat with Agassi about this. He just publicly announced it and started coaching other players. That's quite a complicated, fractured situation. So he's playing Becker with his old coach in Bollettieri in Becker's corner, and Agassi's mind is wandering a little bit anyway, or he loses a little bit of focus, and Becker ends up getting the upper hand on him. While he's playing Becker, he's thinking about a few things, but one of the things is, oh, maybe Bollettieri has told him how to beat him, so some of the weaknesses of his game. But also one of the interesting facts is Becker had a slight tell with his serve. He's known for having one of the best serves in the world at the time. But he had this slight tell where before he'd serve, he would point his tongue in the direction of where he's going to serve. If he'd serve to the left, he'd point his tongue to the left. If he'd serve to the right, he'd point his tongue to the right. And if he's going for a body serve, he'd point his tongue straight out in the direction like a little arrow. So Agassi spots this tell and has used it to his advantage while playing Becker. But this is also in his mind that, as maybe Bollettieri has told Becker that Agassi knows his tell. Anyway, he ends up losing the match. After the match, he's obviously distraught. Him and Brooke Shields, his wife at the time, they go on holiday. They have a little break. Agassi doesn't speak for the first couple of days. He doesn't want to speak to anyone. He's completely destroyed and emotionally disheartened about this loss with Becker. But after a couple of days, it wears off, and then he starts to feel himself again and starts going for a run and starts training, and he comes back to being his usual self. However, the story doesn't end there. After Agassi's holiday with Brooke, he comes back, he starts training again. He's training with his coach, Brad Gilbert. Brad has got a little bit of a ominous look about him and pulls Agassi aside. So they finish training, they go for a bit of food, and then Brad tells him the bad news. I feel tremendous after the workout. Relaxed, fit, haven't thought of Becker in almost 20 minutes. Brad puts a stop to that. From the inside pocket of his black cashmere pullover, he removes a wad of papers, and in an agitated way, he drops them on the table. Becker, he says. What? This is what he said after beating you at Wimbledon. What do I care? He's talking shit. What kind of shit? He reads, Becker used his post-match news conference to complain that Wimbledon promotes me, as in Agassi, over other players. He complained that Wimbledon officials unfairly bend over backward to schedule my matches on centre court. He complained that all major tournaments kiss my ass. Then he got personal. He called me an elitist. He said that I don't associate with other players. He said that I'm not well liked on tour. He said I'm not open, and if I were open, maybe other players wouldn't fear me so much. In short, he issued a declaration of war. Brad has never cared for Becker. He thinks Becker tries to come off as an intellectual when he's just an overgrown farm boy. But Brad is now incensed that he can't sit still. Andre, he says, it's on. Mark my words. We are going to run into this guy again. We're going to run into him at the US Open. And until then, we're going to prepare, train, and plot revenge. I read Becker's quotes again. I can't believe it. I knew the guy didn't like me, but this? I look down and find that I'm clenching and unclenching my fist. Brad says, do you hear? I want you to take this guy out. Consider it done. We clink our bottles, swear an oath. And so the summer of 1995 becomes the summer of revenge. So Agassi uses this as fuel to train like an absolute monster. He's putting all his energy into getting his fit, match sharp, as best as he can be to beat Becker. So it really shows what having a goal, having a goal or even an enemy can do for motivation. Agassi now goes on to the next few tournaments. He's having an unbelievable run. He's not losing matches, he's winning tournament after tournament. I go to Montreal, I beat Pete in the final, 3 hard-fought sets. Beating Pete always feels good, but this time it barely registers. I want Becker. So again, even though he's winning tournaments, he's playing fantastically, he just wants to play Becker. He just wants to get back at Becker for talking shit about him to the press. So he goes on to win some more tournaments. It's my 20th straight match victory, my 4th straight tournament victory. I've won 63 of 70 matches this year, 44 of 46 on hard courts. Reporters ask if I feel invincible, and I say no. They think I'm being modest, but I'm telling the truth. It's how I feel. It's the only way I can allow myself to feel in the summer of revenge. Pride is bad, stress is good. I don't want to feel confident. I want to feel rage. Endless, all consuming rage. He is fired up for sure. So at last, August comes. Gil, Brad, and I, as in Agassi, drive to New York for the 1995 US Open. On our first morning at Louis Armstrong Stadium, I see Brad in the locker room, holding the draw in his hands. It's good, he says, smiling. Oh, it's so good. All good. I'm on Becker's side of the draw. If everything goes according to Brad's plan, I'll face Becker in the semis, then Pete. In the early rounds, I'm on autopilot. I know what I want. I see what I want. Opponents are mere road cones. Ed Berg, Alex Corretja, Peter Corder. I need to get past them to reach my target, so I do. After each win, Brad isn't his typical excitable self. He doesn't smile, he doesn't celebrate. He's preoccupied by Becker. He's monitoring Becker's progress, charting his matches. So Agassi blitzes through the rounds. He gets all the way to the semis. Pete, on the other side of the draw, is now in the final. And guess what? Becker makes it to the semis too. So we have the Agassi-Becker lineup. It's Wimbledon all over again, part 2. But this time, I'm not thinking of Pete. I'm not looking ahead. I've been gunning for Becker, and now the moment is here. And my concentration is so intense, it frightens me. Before we take the court, as Becker and I stand in the tunnel, I tell the security guard, James, keep us apart. I don't want this German in my sight. Trust me, James, you don't want me to see him. Becker feels the same way. He knows what he said, and he knows I've read it 50 times and memorised it. He knows I've been stewing in his remarks all summer, and he knows I want blood. He does too. We walk onto the court, avoiding eye contact, refusing to acknowledge the crowd, focus on our gear, our tennis bags, and the nasty job at hand. From the opening bell, it's what I thought it would be. We are sneering, snorting, cursing in 2 different languages. I win the first set, 7-6. I win the second set, 7-6. Now he starts to squirm, to look for an edge. He tries to play with my mind. He's seen me lose my cool before, so he does what he thinks will make me lose my cool again. The most emasculating thing one tennis player can do to another. He blows kisses at my box to Brooke. Oh, Becker, you cheeky bastard. Oh, you'd be absolutely fuming, wouldn't you? If your opponent is blowing kisses to your wife. Oh, poor form, Becker. It's just to add insult to injury, isn't it? He's really doing his best to throw Agassi off, wind him up, throw off his concentration, but with any sly tactics. It works. I'm so angry that I momentarily lose focus. In the third set, with me ahead, 4-2, Becker drives for a ball that he has no business reaching. He gets there, wins the point, then breaks me, then wins the set. The crowd is now wild. They seem to have figured out that this is personal, that these 2 guys don't like each other, that we're settling old scores. Becker feeds on their energy. He blows more kisses at Brooke, smiling wolfishly. It worked once, why not do it again? I looked at Brad next to Brooke, and he gives me a steely glare, the vintage Brad look that says, come on, let's go. The fourth set. We're each holding serve, looking for an opening to break. I glance at the clock, 9:30. No one here is going home. Lock the doors. We're not leaving until this thing is settled. The intensity is palpable. I've never wanted a match so much. I've never wanted anything so much. I hold serve to go up 6-5, and now Becker's serving to stay in the match. He sticks his tongue to my right, serves right. I guess right and hit a cold winner. I crush his next two serves. Now he's serving at love 40, triple match point. Perry, his best friend, is barking at him. Brooke is raining blood-curdling screams down on him. Becker is smiling, waving at them both, as if he's Miss America. He misfires his first serve. I know he's going to get aggressive with his second. He's a champion. He's going to bring it like a champion. Also, his tongue is in the middle of his mouth. Sure enough, he brings a faster paced second serve straight up to the gut. I gamble, hold my ground, and the gamble pays off. Here is the ball in my strike zone. I slide my hips out of the way, put myself in a place to hit the winner of a lifetime. The serve is a click faster than I anticipated, but I adjust. I'm on my toes, feeling like Spider-Man and Spartacus combined. I swing. Every hair on my body is standing up. As the ball leaves my racket, a sound leaves my mouth that's pure animal. I know that I won't ever make that sound again, and I won't ever hit a tennis ball any harder or any more perfect. Hitting a ball dead perfect. That's the only piece. As it lands on Becker's side of the court, the sound is still coming from me. The ball blazes past Becker. Match Agassi. So he's done it. He's beaten him. He's gotten his revenge. Becker walks to the net. Let him stand there. The fans are on their feet, swaying. I'm gazing at Brooke and Gil and Perry and Brad, especially Brad. Come on, I keep gazing. Becker is still at the net. I don't care. I leave him standing there. Finally, I strip off my wristbands and go to the net and stick my hand in his general vicinity without looking. He gives my hand a shake and I snatch it away. A TV reporter rushes onto the court and asks me a few questions. I answer without thinking. Then I look into the camera with a smile and say, Pete, I'm coming. I love that. What a fantastic story. Well done, Agassi, for getting Becker back. Becker was a cheeky bastard there, talking trash at the press conference, blowing kisses to your wife. Really disrespectful, and you got him back. And that's where I leave it for today at Racket Fanatic Podcast, Tales of a Tennis Legend. See you next week.